It's the USS Enterprise.
When the USS Enterprise of the 23rd century made a surprise appearance in the final moments of Star Trek Discovery's first season, few could have guessed the direction that this surprise story beat would take Trek fans as well as the entire Star Trek franchise. With the release of Star Trek Strange New Worlds on Paramount+, Star Trek has essentially circled back to where it all began in 1965, with the kinda unaired original series pilot The Cage, which was the first on-screen appearance of the Federation starship Enterprise, as well as its original on-screen captain, Christopher Pike. Here's everything you need to know about Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Strange New Worlds is a sequel to that original series pilot, and while the actors playing the roles may have changed, the key characters are all there. Captain Christopher Pike is back, now played by Anson Mount, who absolutely made this role his own in Season 2 of Discovery. Along for the ride is First Officer Una Chin-Riley, better known as Number 1.
Thank you, Number 1.
And of course, Science Officer Spock.
Captain.
Both Rebecca Romijn and Ethan Peck reprised their roles from Season 2 of Discovery, as well as short treks. But the familiar faces, or rather the familiar characters with new faces, don't end there. Celia Rose Gooding plays Cadet Nyota Uhura, who of course debuted in the first season of the original series, played by Nichelle Nichols. The Uhura we see in Strange New Worlds is a younger, less experienced take on the character, but many of the traits that made the original Uhura such a compelling part of the original series are on show in Strange New Worlds.
Enterprise is cleared for launch.
Another original series character that has returned is Nurse Christine Chapel, now played by Jess Bush in what promises to be a more modern take on this classic character. Nurse Chapel isn't the only medical staff member from the original series to make a return to screen. Dr. Mabenga, a senior medical officer who appeared in 2 episodes of the original series, is also part of the main cast of Strange New Worlds. Played by Babs Olusanmokun, Dr. Mabenga is the chief medical officer aboard the Enterprise while under Pike's command. How he loses that role to Bones McCoy down the track is something we look forward to discovering. Now, while they're not technically characters who are reappearing from earlier incarnations of Star Trek, there are 2 more whose backstories are deeply rooted in Trek lore. The first is Lan Noonien Singh, played by Christina Chong. Lan is the Enterprise's newly assigned security chief, and, as the very recognisable surname implies, is a relative of the infamous Khan. Yes, that Khan. The second new character with ties to the greater Trek canon is the new chief engineer of the Enterprise, Hemmer, played by Bruce Horak. To the uninitiated, Hemmer may look a little bit like an Andorian, a species that has appeared in just about every Star Trek series. Hemmer, however, is an Aenar, not an Andorian. The Aenar were an alien species first introduced in Star Trek Enterprise and are native to Andor, with many considering them an albino subspecies of Andorian. The Aenar are quite different to the Andorians, however. Firstly, they're pacifists who have powerful telepathic abilities.
No one may enter another's thoughts without permission.
Secondly, they're almost completely blind, and this is something that it seems Strange New Worlds will be exploring, as Bruce Horak himself is visually impaired. The final main crew member is helmsperson Erica Ortegas, played by Melissa Navia. While Ortegas is for all intents and purposes a new character, in perhaps the deepest of deep cuts, she's actually a reference to Jose Ortegas, a character that appeared in Gene Roddenberry's original pitch for the show. In terms of storytelling, Strange New Worlds sets out to be a return to classic Star Trek, more episodic by structure and more exploratory by nature. The first episode, aptly titled Strange New Worlds, picks up not long after we last saw Pike and the Enterprise at the conclusion of the Season 2 finale of Discovery. Without spoiling anything, Pike is in quite a dark place after the events of Discovery, as you can tell by his great big bushy beard.
Come on, it's class.
Pike's struggle to remain an ever-optimistic leader despite the knowledge of an impending personal tragedy is established from the get-go, and promises to be a compelling character arc as he leads the Starship Enterprise and its crew into the final frontier.
Where no one has gone before.
Star Trek Strange New Worlds is currently available to stream on Paramount+, with new episodes weekly. For more Strange New Worlds content, be sure to check out IGN's premiere review or our Captain Pike timeline. And for everything else, you're in the right place, IGN.
Warp Factor 2. Hit it.